Hello, happy Monday. Today we're going to do a few things. We are going to go ahead and just kind of review last week the information that we found out from doing the Boa model, and we're going to go ahead and do what's called the Lewis dot model. So we looked a little bit of that on Friday in class, but today we're going to finish that off. So if you were in class on Friday, then this may be a bit of a review. Otherwise, yeah, this is something new. But first, let's go ahead. If you did the warm up, then hopefully you figured this out, that the first pattern when we did our Boa models was that the column number tells you how many valence electrons are in the atom. So everything in column 1 has one valence electron, everything in column 2 has two valence electrons, and so on and so on. When we get to these numbers, any number over 10, we just have to subtract 10. So if you're in column number 16, then it'll just be 6. And so on. There's one rule breaker, and that is, I'll show you, that's helium. Because it's only got two valence electrons, or two electrons total actually, it's got just kind of one shell that's full. It has two valence electrons. Everything below it is going to have 8 because it is in column number 18. So don't worry too much about that for now. We'll get into that more later. The other thing which when we did the Boa model, hopefully you realized, was that every time we go down a row, you add one of these rings or orbitals. So at the top we have this is the nucleus in the middle, and then we have one ring. Second column we have, the second row we have 1, 2 rings. Third row we have 1, 2, 3 rings. Fourth row we have 4 rings. So that's kind of the two things we had. Okay, I'm gonna leave this up if you want to pause the video and make sure that this is what you had for your Boa model table. Then go ahead and kind of fill this in, and then we'll move on. Okay, now what we're going to do is this. We are going to take what we know about the columns and the rows, and we're going to use this to make what's called a Lewis dot diagram. And in class, we took 2 days to do the Boa models. This should take about 10 minutes to do the whole table of the Lewis dots. Here's why. All you have to do is do the symbol and add the valence electrons. And remember, valence electrons are just the electrons on the outer shell of the atom. These are the ones that are responsible for chemical reactions. And here's how we do it. So if you have this table handy, you keep it out, we'll kind of look at it. And I'll show an example. The example I'm going to do is lithium, which has an atomic number 3. But if we look back, it's in this one right here. It's in column 1. So we're going to go ahead and draw a Lewis dot structure of this. Okay, here's the 2 steps. First one is you write its symbol, which is just Li for lithium, and then you draw dots for its valence electrons. The only rule is that you kind of imagine this square around the symbol, and then you draw your dots somewhere on that square. You don't want to do more than 2 dots on each side, so I'm just going to do 1 right there, and that's it. It's totally fine if you wanted to put the dot on the right side. That's perfectly fine too. It's kind of up to you. A couple of rules there. All you do is write the chemical symbol, and then, like I said, you imagine a box around the symbol, draw only the valence electrons, no other electrons, just the valence electrons. Don't do more than 2 electrons on each side, and only include the valence electrons. So you should never have more than 8 dots, or else you've kind of done something wrong. So just go back. Remember, everything column 1 will have 1. Everything column 2 will have 2 valence electrons. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Except helium just has 2. Right. So this is what your assignment looks like. I've done a couple for you. Now I've done helium because that's the rule breaker. That's not fair to catch you out on that one. So go ahead. You will just type in the symbol and then use these little dots to go ahead and drag the valence electrons into place. All right. If you have any questions, please message me. Otherwise, that is your mission today. The next thing I'll have you do quickly is do a quick study guide. We are doing a quiz in class tomorrow. So that is kind of 2 things to do today.